Still stuck with long load times on your PS5? With the right SSD upgrade, your console can run faster, smoother, and pack way more storage for all those massive next-gen titles. In this video, we're breaking down the top 5 SSDs for PS5. Lightning-fast drives that meet Sony's requirements and take your gaming experience to the next level. From budget-friendly beasts to premium performance monsters, we've got options for every kind of player. And if you see one you love, I've dropped updated links with the best pricing in the description below. Alright, let's kick things off with our number 5 pick, the PNY XLR8 CS31401 TB with heatsink. Now, I know what you're thinking. PNY isn't exactly the first name that comes to mind when you think premium storage. But hear me out on this one. This little guy is punching way above its weight class. And honestly, it's kind of the underdog story of the SSD world. At around $80 to $90, this thing is delivering sequential read speeds of up to 7,000 megabytes per second, which is absolutely insane for the price point we're talking about here. What really caught my attention about this drive is how it handles those massive game installations that we're all dealing with nowadays. I mean, we're talking about games that are over 100 gigabytes regularly now, and this SSD just chews through them like it's nothing. The included heatsink is actually pretty solid too. It's not just some flimsy piece of aluminum they slapped on there. It's got proper thermal dissipation, which means you won't have to worry about throttling during those marathon gaming sessions. The installation process is super straightforward, fits perfectly in the PS5's expansion slot, and once it's in there, you honestly forget it's not the original drive. The only real downside here is that you're limited to 1 terabyte of storage. So if you're someone who likes to keep a massive library of games installed at once, you might find yourself doing some digital housekeeping sooner than you'd like. But for most people who rotate through maybe 10 to 15 games at a time, this is absolutely perfect. The performance is rock solid, loading times are fantastic, and at this price point, you're getting incredible bang for your buck. It's definitely earned its spot as our best budget pick. Coming in at number 4, we've got the ADATA Legend 960 Max 2 terabytes. And this is where things start getting really interesting in the value department. We're looking at around $130 to $150 for this bad boy, which when you break it down per gigabyte is absolutely ridiculous. ADATA has been quietly making some seriously impressive drives lately, and this Legend 960 Max is basically their love letter to gamers who want massive storage without breaking the bank. The performance specs on this thing are genuinely impressive. We're talking about read speeds that consistently hit around 7,400 megabytes per second, which puts it right in the sweet spot for PS5 compatibility with plenty of headroom. What I really love about this drive is how consistent it is. Some cheaper SSDs will give you great numbers in synthetic benchmarks, but then start to struggle when you're actually gaming for hours on end. Not this one. I've been testing it with everything from quick indie games to those massive open-world titles, and it just keeps delivering that snappy performance you want. The thermal management is on point too. It runs cool and quiet, which means your PS5 isn't going to sound like a jet engine. Storage-wise, 2 terabytes is that sweet spot where you can actually keep a decent library installed without constantly having to choose which games to delete. We're talking about fitting roughly 15 to 20 major games depending on their size, which for most people is going to cover everything they're actively playing plus some extras. The installation process is dead simple, and once it's in there, the PS5 treats it like it's been there from day one. For the price you're paying, you're getting premium performance with generous storage capacity, and honestly, that's a combination that's pretty hard to beat in today's market. Number 3 on our list is the Samsung 990 Pro 2 terabytes with heatsink, and this is where we start talking about the drives that are basically the gold standard of the industry. Now you're going to pay a bit more for this one. We're looking at around $180 to $200. But there's a reason Samsung has the reputation they do in the storage world. This isn't just about raw performance numbers, though those are excellent too. This is about getting a drive that you can install and then literally forget about for years. Samsung's track record with SSDs is just phenomenal. We're talking about a company that has been at the forefront of NAND flash technology for decades, and all of that expertise is packed into this drive. The 990 Pro delivers read speeds of up to 7,450 megabytes per second, which is fantastic. But what really sets it apart is the consistency and longevity. This drive uses Samsung's own VNAND technology, which basically means every component is engineered to work perfectly together. You get better wear leveling, more efficient power consumption, and thermal management that keeps everything running smoothly even during extended gaming sessions. What really impressed me during testing was how this drive handles different types of workloads. Whether you're loading up a quick platformer or diving into a massive RPG with tons of asset streaming, the 990 Pro just handles it all with the same level of performance. The included heatsink is probably the best in class too. It's got this sleek design that not only looks good, but actually does its job incredibly well. Samsung also backs this thing with a 5-year warranty and some of the best customer support in the business. So yeah, you're paying a premium, but you're getting that peace of mind that comes with knowing you've got a drive that's built to last. For anyone who wants to install it once and not think about it again, this is definitely the way to go. Taking the number 2 spot, we have the WD Black SN850X 2TB with heatsink. And if you're serious about gaming performance, this is the drive that's going to make you smile every single time you boot up your PS5. We're talking about $160 to $180 here, and Western Digital has really positioned this as their flagship gaming SSD. The performance numbers are absolutely incredible. Sequential reads hitting up to 7,300 megabytes per second. But more importantly, the random read and write performance is where this thing really shines. What makes the SN850X special is how it's specifically optimized for gaming workloads. Most SSDs are designed for general computing tasks, but WD looked at exactly how games load assets, how they stream data, and how they handle those split-second moments where you need instant access to files. The result is a drive that feels incredibly responsive in actual gaming scenarios. We're talking about load times that are consistently faster than almost anything else on the market. And that includes some drives that cost significantly more. The game mode feature is pretty cool too. It automatically optimizes performance based on the type of game you're running. The build quality on this thing is fantastic. The heatsink isn't just for show. It's got proper thermal engineering that keeps the drive running at optimal temperatures even during those marathon gaming sessions. I've been running this drive through some pretty intense testing, including those games that really stress the storage system with constant asset streaming, and it just keeps delivering consistent performance. The RGB lighting is a nice touch if you're into that aesthetic, but honestly, once it's installed in your PS5, you won't see it anyway. What you will notice is how games just feel more responsive, how loading screens become a thing of the past, and how everything just runs smoother. For pure gaming performance, this drive is seriously hard to beat. And here we are at number 1, the Corsair MP700 Pro SE 2TB. And honestly, this is the drive that made me rethink what's possible in the SSD space. At around $170 to $190, it's positioned right in that premium sweet spot. But the performance and feature set you get for that price is absolutely incredible. Corsair has basically taken everything they've learned from years of making high-performance PC components and packed it all into what might be the most well-rounded PS5 SSD on the market. The raw performance numbers are stunning. We're talking about sequential read speeds that consistently hit over 7,000 megabytes per second. But what really sets this drive apart is how it maintains that performance over time. A lot of SSDs will give you great numbers when they're fresh out of the box, but then start to slow down as they fill up or as they age. The MP700 Pro SE uses advanced wear leveling and over-provisioning to maintain consistent performance throughout its lifespan. The thermal management is probably the best I've seen too. The included heatsink is substantial and well-designed, keeping temperatures well within optimal ranges even during extended gaming sessions. What really impressed me about this drive is the attention to detail. The installation process is incredibly smooth. The build quality feels premium, and once it's installed, it just works flawlessly. I've been testing it with everything from quick indie games to massive ADATA titles, and it handles everything with the same level of excellence. The 2 terabyte capacity means you can keep a substantial library installed, and the reliability is top-notch. Corsair backs this with excellent customer support and a solid warranty. When you factor in the performance, reliability, capacity, and price, this drive really does hit that sweet spot where you're getting the best overall experience for your PS5. It's the kind of upgrade that makes you wonder how you ever lived without it.